How expensive is divorce in India? What you need to know. Hello, my beautiful listeners. How are you doing today? Welcome back to Resilient Arts, turning breakdowns into breakthroughs. I'm Aparna Jadhav, and today we are tackling a question that holds so many women back from leaving a bad marriage. Is divorce in India too expensive? Maybe you've heard horror stories, legal fees that drain bank accounts, alimony battles that leave women struggling, cases dragging on for years on end. And if you don't have financial stability, divorce can feel like a risk you just can't afford to take. But what if I told you that that's not the whole story? Today we are going to break down the actual costs as much as we can, talk about how to financially prepare, and most importantly, shift your mindset from fear to strategy. Because money shouldn't be the reason you stay stuck. So, how expensive is divorce in India? Let's just break it down. Let's get straight to the numbers. See, there are two types of cases. Okay, there is a mutual divorce and there is contested divorce. A mutual consent, that's what it's called, we generally called a mutual consent divorce, where both the partners agree to separate, is the fastest and the cheapest option, which one should avail of as much as possible. A contested divorce, where one partner opposes it, can drag on for years, and that generally leads to high legal fees. Lawyers can charge anywhere from 30,000 to 3 to 5 lakhs, but it all depends on experience, one. Second, the complexity of your case, what exactly is involved in the case, what he's going to require to do in that. Along with that, the time taken also matters. So it all depends on your individual situation. There is no fixed, but that is the range. Some lawyers, however, offer affordable prices or even pro bono services. It's all about finding the right one that suits your particular situation. Let's talk about alimony and child support. Contrary to popular belief, many people think that alimony is automatic. Factors like income, financial dependency, and children's needs, all of this determine that amount. So it's not like a given. Just because you're a lady or something, you don't get it. It all depends on your individual case and what your situation is. There are hidden costs involved. There are court fees, you need to pay. There are some documentation charges, or you might be incurring travel charges, or the loss of income due to time off from hearings. But you know what? Here's a good news to tell you very frankly. Smart planning can help you manage these costs effectively. I completely understand the fear around money. When I left my marriage, I didn't have a job. My dad had retired, and on top of that, he had lent all his savings to my ex-husband. So he didn't even have the money to support, even if he wanted to. And to top it up, my case dragged on for over 6 years. But here's what I learned. There is always a way. There's always a way if you're looking for one. I took up a job, I focused on building my finances, and I met several lawyers before finding someone who wasn't just after money, who I trusted and who truly helped me through all those 6 years. And that's the thing. It's about how you handle it, how open you are to taking help, how honest and vulnerable you allow yourself to. I talk about tarot a lot because I love tarot. So I'm going to, there's one particular card that really stands out to me, and I want to talk about this card in today's episode. It's the Nine of Pentacles. It's a symbol of financial independence. The Nine of Pentacle cards, if you see it, there's a woman standing strong, independent, and is surrounded by abundance. This lady in this card, the story goes as if she wasn't always wealthy. She built her wealth step by step, and now she enjoys the rewards of her hard work. And frankly, isn't that what financial independence after divorce looks like? You may not have the stability, but you can always take inspiration from this card. You may not have the stability right now, but if you take the right steps, you can reach a place where you stand on your own, secure, empowered, and thriving, right? So, how do you prepare financially for divorce? First thing, what you do where legal cases are involved is meet multiple lawyers before choosing one. That's don't just go with the first lawyer you meet, or just because this lawyer has a big name. A lot of people do that. Oh, he's well known, or so and so fought so and so's case, and that's why I think he's good enough. But no, not necessarily. Probably was good for them, might not be good for you. So meet several lawyers before you finalize on one. Ask their fees, ask their strategies. Find out if you feel that they truly care about your case. Can you relate to them? Are you comfortable with them? Because your lawyer is like your doctor. You really can't be open to a doctor you're very uncomfortable to talk about, right? You have to be vulnerable with your doctor. So similarly, you need to be vulnerable with your lawyer. You need to tell them exactly what happened and see if they can support you, not just legally, but they understand your journey and they are there, when you need them. They guide you in the right manner, and that's most important. So, while you need a lawyer who's really experienced, you also need someone who has empathy and understands where you come from, right? That's why meet several lawyers before you finalize on one. Second, get in touch with social service agencies. Many NGOs and legal aid services offer free and subsidized support for women. There are also women's rights organizations that help, that can help guide you legally and financially as well. Find out, do a little bit of online research for this, find out, and don't hesitate to talk to people about where you are. And, always, there are always contacts. Someone might know someone, and, because that, through that, you might get a lawyer who's really good and who really helps you out, maybe your costs reduce. But try doing that. Also, you need to start securing your money. Open a separate bank account in your own name if you don't have one. If possible, start saving. Even small amounts matter. Keep copies of your financial documents like your property papers, insurance, and joint statements. And trust me, even if you're not ready to leave yet, preparing financially will give you options. And trust me, options mean power. If you need help in regarding this, of course, you can join my course, the Silver Divorce Toolkit. I talk extensively about, legal issues, and also, a lot of help is given around legal information, as well as what all you can ask the lawyer, what you need to do in the court, what documents you'd require, how to keep those documents properly. All of that is covered in the toolkit. So if you are interested, of course, get in touch with me. Also, there's a major issue which people face. We generally view money as a barrier. We see money as something that stops us from making a change. For example, you'd say, oh, I can't do this. I cannot think about separating because I don't have the financial assistance. Yes, you do not have it at this point of time. But what if we saw money as a tool instead? What if we do that? What if you just change your mindset a little? Look at money as a tool to secure your future, a tool to build independence, a tool to break free from financial control of someone else. When you shift your mindset from I can't afford to leave to how can I create financial freedom? Ask yourself those questions. You take your power back. If money is tight, here are a few ways to reduce the cost of divorce. First, seek mediation instead of fighting in the court. While you might feel at that point of time probably you're not getting the right uh, deal, but do calculate if you actually fight it in the court, is the outcome really worth your time and money? Because generally mediation saves time and money both. So if there is a way out to seek mediation, please do that. It's the best way to move forward. Also, legal aid services, use them. They offer free legal advice. Do not hesitate to use them. Negotiate payment plans with lawyers. Some allow installments. So don't hesitate to take this. Be vulnerable with your lawyer. Be open. Tell your financial situation as it is. You never know. You might get the help that you really need. Remember, financial independence isn't built overnight. So there's no reason to feel overwhelmed if you are not financially independent today. It is always built step by step, and you will too if you start focusing on it. I wanted to do a small financial confidence affirmation before we close for today. So let's do that. You can, of course, always do this affirmation whenever you feel you're a little, not financially secure. Do come back to this episode and do try doing this affirmation. So just calm yourself down. Breathe in. And as you exhale, feel the fear around money begin to soften. Repeat after me. I am financially capable. I attract the resources I need. I am prepared for my new beginning. Let's repeat that again. I am financially capable. I attract the resources I need. I am prepared for my new beginning. And with every breath, that truth becomes stronger within you. So, my beautiful listeners, money should never be the reason you stay stuck. The more you understand your finances, the more empowered you become. A lot of people are not comfortable talking about money because probably it's overwhelming. I was also one of them. It was extremely overwhelming for me. Not that I didn't work before marriage. I used to work. I had my own business before I got married. But in spite of having that, I wasn't comfortable talking about money because it's a different language. I used to find it difficult to handle finances. I don't consider myself even today as a pro in handling finances. I have a financial advisor who guides me. I can talk to someone. I have someone I can talk to who guides me in this department. And yes, of course, I have taken efforts to understand how to handle my finances in the best possible manner. And so can you. It's a different language. You need to learn it. Don't hesitate to learn more about money, learn about investments, find ways to, face your fears regarding money and see how you can build your financial future. It's vital. No matter what we say, we cannot move without money. So if you're not ready today, probably you're not. But of course, you can at least start working towards it instead of just giving up and saying, oh, I can't do that. Don't do that. Start working on it. Start focusing. And I know this much. Where focus goes, energy flows. You know that. You've heard it. So always focus on money. Focus on the things you want in your life, and you'll find a way out. Life will be beautiful for you. Anyways, so next week we are covering something just as important, and that is I'm just trying to demystify divorce. I'm going to talk about 10 legal terms every woman in India should know. If the legal jargon has been overwhelming you, this episode will simplify everything for you. So make sure you subscribe, and if this episode helped you, share it with someone who needs it. As always, just know you're stronger than you think. And And yes, I'll see you next week. Take care and stay strong.